Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Once again, the president has proved he's the only person in Washington with a damn backbone, and Joe Biden has proved the exact opposite. The crony establishment crooks, Democrat and GOP alike, are playing the game of Washington politics, trying to put the president in a position where he feels like he only has one option. And President Donald Trump just told the entire establishment at hand, take a hike. I'm not signing this garbage bill. Of course, we're talking about the most recent COOF stimulus bill, one of the most wasteful, slap-in-the-face bills the American people have seen. The president just refused to sign it the day after Joe Biden urged him to sign it, proving the exact point that I made just the other day. Joe Biden is an empty shell of a politician, which is why Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi, both sides of the Washington elite establishment, want Joe Biden in office so badly. He will sign anywhere, just give him the dotted line, and he will happily oblige. The contrast could not be more clear between these two men. One, a man fighting for you. The other, a man fighting to not piss his diaper while giving a speech trying to follow the teleprompter. The contrast could not be more clear, and we will keep outlining it. That's what we gotta do for this video. But before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm. Now with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright, so let me give you guys some context here. Biden calls on Trump to sign COOF relief bill amid battle over direct payments. And so Biden, over the last couple days, has been urging President Donald Trump to just sign the bill, man. Come on, man. Don't read the damn thing, just sign it. And so the president responded like this. Trump declines to sign relief bill suspending unemployment benefits for millions. And he said this specifically, increase payments to the people and get rid of the pork. And so this right here is a double-edged sword. Most people would probably say that this is a death sentence, that you should definitely just sign the bill, because otherwise you're hurting a whole lot of people. And that is true to a certain extent, but at the same time, you don't accomplish anything good without a little bit of pain and a little bit of risk. And what the president's doing here is not short-term politics for himself, but long-term politics for the American people. The president is fighting for something greater. He's fighting for effective government. He's fighting for efficient government that works for the people. This is a virtuous goal that reaches far beyond just basic news cycle politics. And this is something that a lot of people in Washington don't understand when fighting for their constituents. What the president's doing here, whether it may directly benefit you or hurt you right now, is for you. He's working for you. This is a game that the swamp plays all the time. They've purposely delayed this bill all the way till now for a specific reason. They wanted to put something on the desk that the president could not refuse, or else millions of people would be in serious financial trouble. They wanted to put the president between a rock and a hard place to sign something that's objectively bad for you so they can pass all that pork to their crony lobbyists and foreign economic interests. But the president sent a very clear message here. He said no more, and he's done with this garbage politics at play. And this is something that Washington hasn't seen for a very long time. This is frankly a breath of fresh air. It hurts, but it's right. Something has to be done about the way Congress and the Senate spend money. Something has to be done in Washington. Somebody has to fight against this ridiculous, reckless spending that's putting the country further and further into debt while enriching foreign nations and uplifting them. And this is once again proof that the president is the only person who's fighting for the notion of America first. He is the final bastion, the final frontier of that exact notion. Without the president, that notion doesn't exist. And that's why he is, in fact, such a man of character. He's a man with a backbone who stands up for what he believes is right. And speaking of the exact antithesis to that exact notion, the biggest coward in Washington, we've got Bernie Sanders. Oh, poor Bernie Sanders. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't get what actually standing up to the establishment means. Sanders, narcissist Trump, is being unbelievably cruel by not signing COOF stimulus, when literally 3 days prior, Bernie Sanders was agreeing with the president's push for increasing the payments to $2,000. But Bernie Sanders doesn't have a backbone and lets the establishment walk all over him instead of fighting for what's right. Bernie Sanders is okay with stacking on further debt for your children and your grandchildren in the future who are gonna have to pay it by just adding an amendment to increase the payments and not getting rid of any of the pork in the bill. Bernie Sanders pretending to be a populist, but in reality, he's just a coward. Nothing gets done without a little bit of suffering. Nothing good ever happens without a little bit of pain. You can't go to the gym and walk around, touch a couple machines, and expect that all of a sudden you're gonna get in phenomenal shape. You gotta seriously sacrifice. You gotta sacrifice caloric intake, and you gotta sacrifice your body a little bit and prepare your mind for that sacrifice. And this is exactly what this is. This is the president standing up for American interests in the long term on a macro level. This is the president president saying no to the establishment who have sold you out. People pretend as if it's the end of the world, that certain folk aren't going to get their $600, but the reality is the bill can be changed, it can be reorganized, and it can be made in a manner to actually benefit and empower Americans, which is what the president is seeking, and he's the only person who seems to be seeking for that exact goal. That's the contrast. The contrast is we're seeing stories like this, the unstoppable rise of the Chinese dragon. China will overtake the US and become the world's biggest economy by 2028. The president's the only one fighting against that. The president is the only one who's been trying to level the playing field against a communist dictatorship playing with funny money and planning to take over the world and become the biggest economy by 2028. And this is the first step. Making sure that government works for the American people instead of crony corporate interest is the first step in that battle. I urge you to find a president, to find a politician that isn't maybe like Rand Paul or something, who's ever done anything like this. They don't exist. The only man in recent history in politics who's done something like this is President Donald Trump. And on January 20th, if Joe Biden is in fact inaugurated president, 46th president of the United States, get ready to go right back to the Obama era politics of the past. Get ready to go back to the George Bush politics of the past. There's honestly very little difference between the two administrations. It's back to the status quo. It's back to Congress selling you out, selling your soul to the devil to the benefit of China and enabling their unstoppable rise to becoming the world's superpower by 2028. And on that same line, the president must continue going after China. In the most recent news cycle, pressure mounts for Trump to declassify report on Swalwell and Chinese spy. President Trump is facing pressure to declassify the report implicating Representative Eric Swalwell's involvement with Chinese spy Fang Fang, who was running a notorious sexual blackmail ring. And the president must act 100% because you know the Democrats won't. Eric Swalwell should be removed from his committee position immediately. Why hasn't it happened? Because the Democrats, and more specifically, of course, the establishment, are feckless and do China's bidding. The only way they will act is if there's public backlash. The president must declassify so the American people can see exactly what's going on, and the outcry will cause, of course, the Democrat establishment to actually do something and move a finger. Another active security threat, national security threat, holding his office, holding his committee position with access to the highest classified secrets in the entire nation, and he might potentially be connected to the Chinese. How there's not monumental outrage over this is absolutely mind-baffling. It's just as mind-baffling as there is an international outrage in the direction of China and their handling of the COVID pandemic. China lied, people died, and so the president must act. Without President Donald Trump, the idea of America first is dead, folks. The only people who can keep it alive is exactly that, the American people, you. So it's a tough spot, but I believe it's a necessary evil. A lot of people are going to hurt in the short term, but it's about damn time that somebody stands up to the completely irresponsible spending in Congress. And hopefully people are finally waking up to exactly what's going on in Washington with these spending bills. So it's unfortunate, but I actually agree with the president refusing to sign it. Now that's what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. Now I gotta get back to work because there's a whole lot of hypocrisy that must be exposed on a daily basis. You guys know the drill. It's a daily gig. So I'm gonna get to that. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.